Two sisters find themselves trapped under the pool cover and can't get out. They have to make a very big effort to survive. This is 12 Feet Deep, a movie that will definitely make you nervous. It all starts in a public swimming pool on the eve of the holidays. The old pool manages to hang up a notice that the pool will be closed for the extended weekend. Meanwhile, we see the main character Bree. She checks her blood sugar levels. It's normal. The girl takes off her engagement ring, hides in her bag and goes swimming. We can see a huge burn scar on her arm. Meanwhile, Clara, the janitor, is poking around a customer's belongings. The manager catches her. He reminds her that Clara is an ex-convict on parole. She should be more careful. Bree is later joined by her sister Jonah. She gets pissed off by literally everything, especially the kids who wonder what happened to Bree's hand. We find out that the sisters haven't seen each other in years. Once, they used to go to this pool together all the time, but now Bree has moved on with her life, whereas Jonah has gotten out of rehab. The sisters decide to compete, just like the old times. The manager then eagerly tells the swimmers to leave. He wants to leave early on holiday eve. The girls reluctantly get out of the water. Bree wants to show off her engagement ring. She searches through her things and finds nothing. Jonah points to the bottom of the pool. How did it end up there? It doesn't matter now. All that matters is that it's stuck in the drain grate. The sisters dive for the ring. Bree's stuff is lying between the benches, so it's impossible to spot her bag. The managers, failing to notice any of the things, decides that everyone has left. He engages a mechanism that encloses the fiberglass pool cover. At that time, Jonah's hair is sucked up by the filter. Forgetting about the ring, Bree tries to help her sister. The sisters fail to notice the pool cover slowly sliding over their heads. After a while, they get to the surface, but it's too late. The girls call for help, but no one is there to help them. Jonah panics, but Bree, on the other hand, is calm. She suggests they go to the shallow part of the pool and try to lift the pool cover. Alas, they fail to do so, but Bree refuses to give up and searches for a new way to save herself. Her determination only annoys her sister. The girls search the pool, but Jonah only finds lost swimming trunks. Bree removes the plastic drain hole cover. The girls find a tiny hole in the cover. Unfortunately, even the palm of one's hand can't fit there. But Bree cracks the plastic drain hole cover and tries to widen the hole with a sharp shard. But she's getting nowhere. Jonah begins to visualize how their lives will come to an end. But Bree thinks about David. That's it. Her fiancé will surely notice that Bree is missing and call the police. Jonah freaks out whenever it comes to David. Turns out she's angry with her sister. Rehab hasn't been easy for her, and when Jonah got home, her sister wasn't there for her. Bree had run off to her beloved man, and she didn't even tell Jonah about the engagement. Bree suddenly realizes what really happened. It was her jealous sister who pulled the ring out of the bag and threw it into the pool. She is to blame for them being trapped. She gets furious. She dives to the bottom of the pool and finally pulls the ring out of the metal grate. Suddenly, she comes up with an idea. The grate at the bottom is very heavy. If they manage to rip it out, they'll have something to break the pool cover with. But Jonah is still upset with her sister and doesn't want to help her. Besides, she's afraid her hair will get sucked into the metal grate again. Bree gets a voicemail from her fiancé. David reminds her that he has a business meeting today and he'll be home late. Looks like the beloved man isn't coming to rescue her. He doesn't even know his fiancé is missing. The girls are desperate. Bree fails to rip off the metal grate. As the night falls, the pool's lights go off on a timer. The phone rings again and again. Bree is getting sick. Bree reveals that she was diagnosed with diabetes 3 years ago. She requires a shot, or there is a possibility she might slip into a diabetic coma. At first, Jonah takes it as a stupid prank, but then she gets really scared. Meanwhile, Clara finishes cleaning the hallways. Jonah asks Bree if her burned hand still hurts. She was only a baby and doesn't remember the circumstances of the accident. She only remembers their dad, whose skin was blackened and peeling off. Bree tells her that their father was a monster. One day he got drunk on whiskey, came home and fell asleep with a cigarette. Bree tried to wake him up and got her hand burned. Suddenly, the pool door opens. The janitor, Clara, comes in. The girls start banging on the pool cover calling for help. They don't know that Clara is an ex-convict and a kleptomaniac, so at first she picks up Bree's bag, taking her smartphone, credit card and cash. Clara notices the CCTV camera and turns it off. All the while, she distracts the girls with innocent talk about her daughter, but soon the conversations become less innocent. Clara demands that Bree gives her the cell phone password. The girl does it. Instead of calling 911, Clara looks at other people's pictures and listens to messages from her fiancé. Bree freezes with fear, and Jonah freaks out. But Clara doesn't give a damn about them. She admits that since getting out of prison, she had a tough time finding a job and paying her bills. But now, there's an easy way to get some big bucks. Clara blackmails Bree for her credit card pin. Jonah begs her sister not to fall for this blackmail and not to say a word. She claims that Clara is a brutal criminal who won't let them go anyways. They just have to wait, and someone else will come to save them. But just waiting is no longer an option. Clara turns off the pool heating. The girls may just freeze to death overnight. Bree gives up and tells her the credit card pin. Clara walks away. Time is moving forward inexorably. Bree is shaking out of the cold. She runs out of optimism. But Jonah is convinced they still have a chance of survival. What about the plan Bree came up with earlier? Jonah dives to the bottom of the pool, but she gets scared and pops up. Memories of her hair being sucked up by the filter keep her back from swimming to the grate. Jonah is desperate. She recognizes that everything that's happened is her fault, and she is unable to even fix it. She wishes she could be as brave as Bree. Her sister embraces her and says that Jonah is also very brave. She just needs to believe in herself. The clock is ticking. They are running out of chances to be saved. Bree tries to find out what drove her sister to rehab. Jonah confides that it was her fear. She is afraid of monsters, especially the monsters they shared a house with. Bree reminds her that their father is gone. He did terrible things to Jonah, but it won't happen ever again. Suddenly, it turns out that the janitor Clara had been eavesdropping on them. She came back after getting only $80 from Bree's card. She's not going to help them for that kind of money, not even a girl with diabetes. Besides, it's not about the money anymore. Clara's enjoying her newfound power. She owns people's lives. It means she's not the biggest loser in the building anymore. The only problem is that she may intimidate Bree, but not Jonah. The girl sharpens the shard of the plastic cover against the pool edge. Then she weeps and begs Clara to lean up to the hole of the pool cover. Jonah says that she wants to tell her a shameful secret, but she doesn't want her sister to hear it. Clara falls for the act. She presses her ear to the hole, but then she gets stabbed with a sharp piece of plastic instead of a secret. Clara runs away. She is hurt and furious. Clara starts the pool purification system to punish the girls. The water starts coming up and bubbles up. Worst of all, chlorine is going into the water. The sisters try to plug the water holes with all they have, even the swim trunks that Jonah found earlier, but nothing works. The girls beg for mercy. Savoring her power, Clara shuts down the purification system. She declares that this is all just a life lesson. Bad girls must remember to behave. But there is a price to pay for this lesson. Clara demands that Bree gives up the last thing she has, her engagement ring. Bree is tired of fighting. She just gives Clara what she wants. The janitor is amused by her obedience. She takes the ring and walks away. Jonah stares at the sharp piece of plastic in silence. Bree rests her head on the wave breaker and tries to take a nap. Suddenly, someone pulls the pool cover away. Bree hears the sirens. The pool door swings open and David runs into it. He pulls Bree out of the water. The girl is happy that they are saved. But her fiancé suddenly claims Bree has no right to abandon her sister. Jonah needs her help. Bree wakes up. It turned out to be just a happy dream. But her fiancé was right. Jonah does need her help. She presses the sharp shard against her neck. Jonah is convinced it's all her fault. She's a burden to her mother and sister. Everyone will be better off without her. but Bree convinces her that she's wrong. The only way they can survive is together. If Jonah takes her own life, Bree won't survive either. Jonah agrees to live for her sister's sake. Meanwhile, Clara admires the stolen ring. Bree's fiancé keeps calling her cell phone. Right about then, Bree is freezing. Jonah tries to warm her hands. Bree comes up with a new plan. She's convinced that Clara will be back soon. The power over their lives is far more valuable to her than the diamond ring. And Bree's right, Clara shows up again. The girls feign remorse. They confess they've been living wrong and haven't appreciated what they have. Clara has taught them a great lesson. If she lets them out, they will change their lives completely. Clara is very pleased to hear that, so she goes to the control panel. The manager gave her a code to control the pool cover a month ago. But the code is wrong. Apparently, the manager no longer trusted the ex-convict and changed the code. Clara tells the girls that she is unable to release them. She won't call 911 because she's on parole. If the cops find out what she's done, they'll send her back to jail. Despite the girls' pleas, Clara walks away. Morning comes, and Bree is sure she won't last much longer. In her last moments, she confesses to her sister that she knows everything. She saw her father coming into little Jonah's room at night. When the fire broke out, she didn't try to wake her father. Instead, she pressed him to the bed and held him until he passed out. Bree didn't care about her burned hand. All she cared about was that the monster would never touch her sister again. Jonah realizes it's her turn to take care of Bree. She lays her sister down on the wave breaker and tucks the swim trunks under her head to make it softer. Then Jonah dives to the bottom of the pool. Overcoming her fear, she swims down to the grate. But she can't rip the grate off either the first or the second time. Jonah only hurts her hand. She decides to change her plan. She grabs the swim trunks from under Bree's head. The girl stuffs the cloth into the slots in the grate and tries to loosen it. Finally, it comes off. While Jonah was struggling with the metal grate, Bree has already slipped under the water. Jonah pulls her sister out and tries to revive her. Then she breaks through the pool cover with the grate. And now the girls are free. Bree has almost slipped into diabetic coma. Jonah finds a syringe in Bree's bag and gives her the insulin shot. Finally, Bree shows signs of life. Suddenly, there is a sound of footsteps. Clara suspected that the girls will be able to get out. She cannot leave any living witnesses. They will turn her to the police. Clara points a gun at the sisters. Jonah cries and says that the three of them are very much alike. Clara has lost a lot. But so have she and her sister. Will Clara take the last thing they have? The janitor hesitates. Yes, she's done bad things, stealing, blackmailing, threatening. But she's never taken someone's life. Finally, Clara puts the gun down. She even gives back Bree's ring. Jonah tells her to leave and then calls 911. Bree comes to her senses on a gunway. Jonah hands her the engagement ring. The sisters hug. They've defeated another monster and survived. What would you do if you ended up in a pool like this? Give us a like if you don't like enclosed spaces either, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you soon, friends.